Hey, 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 this is Sarah Noel Block, and you are listening to Tiny Marketing. This is the Uncut Summer Series where you are getting the raw, unfiltered, unedited recordings from our interviews, webinars, and workshops. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the ridiculousness. It is Sarah Noel Block, the host of the Tiny Marketing Show. And today I am sharing the audio from my popular workshop, Craft a Killer Lead Magnet, that I did this past winter. If, as you're listening to this, you're like, dang, I wish I was there live, you can almost be there live. I have converted this into a quick win mini course, so you can get access to the replay, the workbook, and the Tiny Marketing Club community. So I'll put the link in the show notes page and you can get access to that. All right, now on to the replay. So I told you earlier, which didn't record because I forgot to hit record. I told you earlier that my ideal audience is B2B companies with 0 to 2-person marketing departments. So they have some clear problems and challenges that they're all going through. They don't have a lot of time. Their resources are minimal. They aren't sure usually like where to focus their marketing on. They need to focus on like streamlining their marketing and they don't know what's going to be the most effective. So those are some key challenges that I can look into as I create lead magnets. So one of my lead magnets, as an example, is a quiz that helps you identify what could be your core marketing. So by core marketing, it's what's this thing that you can create consistently? What makes sense for you? And that works really well for those 0 to 2-person marketing departments because they don't have time to do all the things. But this is the one thing they can do consistently that would make sense for their business. So that's an example of what that would look like. Okay. So when you're choosing a lead magnet, you have lots of different options, and we'll get into what makes sense for your audience. But these are some ones that you would want to look at. So a PDF could look like a guide or an ebook. I download those all the time. Webinars, master classes. So the difference between those, webinars live, master class is usually a pre-recorded webinar. That's all it is. Maybe it has a workbook attached to it. A mini course, that'd be, usually it's like multiple videos with a workbook attached to it. A workshop like this, a quiz. I use Typeform for mine, it's like $25 a month, but you could even find free versions of it. I'm going to switch this lead magnet format. There you go. Templates. So if anybody, I saw that a lot of people came in over from LinkedIn, but one thing that I was talking about before is I found a article was doing really, really well. It kept ranking really high in Google. So I took that article and I was like, okay, I'm going to create a template from this. It was about quarterly marketing plans. So I created a quarterly marketing plan template and it got me 200 new leads in 1 week. So looking at that low-hanging fruit, the stuff that's already ranking and doing well, that is easy. You create some sort of content upgrade from that. And it's an easy way to get those passive leads. And last, tools. People love tools. And my email is in so many people's subscriber lists because I can't resist a calculator or a masterclass. But those are some things that you'll want to look at. I definitely get a lot of downloads of my templates. Ungated at the moment. Girl, gate that. All right, Matt, you asked, can I ask how effective you found the quizzes in terms of volume or value per leads versus other types of lead magnets? The quizzes have been lower value, to be honest. They're fun to do and lots of people do them because they're fun, but the templates have been better. And events are better than that. So if you're looking at people who move from subscriber to sale, event marketing is better. So the webinars, the master classes, the mini courses, the workshops, those have a higher rate of return on that. Let's see. I'm just looking at the questions. I keep thinking I have a budget for remarketing based on ungated downloads. Yeah, just gate it. Your content is amazing. Michelle was on many podcast episodes of Tiny Marketing, and she's a genius. So say hi to her, follow her. Okay. How do you know which one is right for your target market? What content medium does your audience prefer? So look at the content you're already creating and what do they gravitate towards the most? So when I'm doing this for clients, I look at all of their analytics. I look at Google Analytics. I look at their YouTube Analytics. I look at their podcast, and I see what content people are actually gravitating towards. On sales calls, they might be asking for something. What kind of content do they ask for? What do you already create? So when it comes down to it, you might not be able to create something super robust because you just don't have the resources to do it. But you want to create something, and that's okay. So what do you have the capability and the capacity to create, and start there? The easiest thing, a PDF download or a template. It takes minutes. It takes minutes to create a template. You can use the ones that you're already using for your business and gate those. That's one thing I did too. I started compiling the templates that I create that I use in my own business and gating those, and those do fabulously. What do you feel comfortable with? And what can you create with the resources you have? So when it comes down to figuring out the right format, and you want to do it right, and you're willing to invest in it, I would recommend that you interview some of your favorite customers first and see what they like. So I do this for clients all the time. In my strategic story offer, I interview their customers and I identify what lead magnet makes sense for them. But you don't need me to do it. You guys can have conversations with your own clients and ask them, what kind of content do you prefer? What do you gravitate towards when you're trying to learn something? That's the biggest thing. Like, people tend to look for solutions when they're going through some sort of challenge, some sort of problem. And they're going to start looking for certain types of content. So ask them, have these conversations with your customers. I did this for one of my clients, and something that they never even knew their customers wanted was what came up the most. They're like, I actually really like e-courses, which is something they weren't doing. It wasn't on their radar. But consistently over these customer interviews, they kept saying, I want e-courses. So it gave us a good direction. You don't have to create like a full course and sell it, but you can create a mini course and make it available as a lead magnet. It's an Alex Hormezi thing. I read his book, loved it. But he mentioned he did his book on Kindle, Audible, and YouTube, and it was an even split across all media types. Yes. Okay. One thing, yeah. So what Alex does that's being mentioned in the chat right now is he did a Kindle ebook, and it was so cheap. I bought it. It was like 99 cents, something like that. But the gold comes from all of the links that he has in his ebook that has gated resources attached to it. So it's distributed that way, but he gets all the email addresses through the gated content available within the ebook. Could you please explain that Google template you mentioned a few minutes ago? What's already ranking? Okay. So in Google Analytics, I look at what blog posts or content podcasts are already ranking really high. So I use search. I was going to give you the URL. It's Google Search Console. And it tells me what content people are finding on my website, how often they're finding it, what keywords they're using to find it. And across the board, it's quarterly marketing plans. Like by a long shot, visual case studies is next. But knowing that I'm getting hundreds of visitors searching for quarterly marketing plans makes it so easy. Sarah, create a quarterly marketing plan template. So go to Search Console if you haven't already and see what content you already have that could potentially have some sort of lead magnet attached to it. Because that's a nice way of saying, okay, that is where I should be spending my time. Okay. I'm going to pause that. I don't want you to do that yet. Okay. How do you identify the lead magnet for the right topic for your lead magnet? Okay, so this is what I was just talking about. What content is already ranking well on Google? What is your most popular content? A nice way to test is through mini content. If you have a list of ideas that you are considering for your lead magnet, start writing posts on whatever social media platform that you have an audience on. And see what gets the most engagement, because that's a great hint. It's a good way. It's like a 2-minute test. And you can also look through your social media analytics and see what posts are highly engaged, what got a ton of reactions. Hey folks, Sarah here, popping over to introduce the Tiny Marketing Club. This membership is for B2B service founders struggling to market their business sustainably. The Tiny Marketing Club will help you build and maintain a lean marketing engine that helps you build authority and visibility with your dream clients, making it easy to increase your pipeline without burning out. Together, we'll build your lean marketing engine and the systems to make it so damn easy for you to keep it up without a team or a big budget. Go to sarahnoelblock.com/club and click the button that says apply for the club to get added to the wait list. See you there. What questions are people asking online? So now we're going to talk a little bit about what if you don't have an audience already. Go to Google and start searching the challenges that you identified that your audience has, and see what frequently asked questions come up or what other people ask in there. And then what questions do people ask on sales calls and in your social media comments? So if you aren't doing this already, record all of your sales calls with a transcript attached. If you use Google Meets, it's included in the package. And then you can start scanning for the questions that people are asking. This is the trick that I use. I take those transcripts, I copy and paste them into ChatGPT, and I ask ChatGPT, find what questions are people asking me on here? What challenges are they asking or are they bringing up? What is the transformation that they want to see? So by just copying and pasting the transcripts of the conversations I had with clients or discovery calls, I got a lot of good juice in there. And then ChatGPT does the heavy lifting for you. So most engaged posts don't seem to include my ideal customer. Yeah, that is a struggle. So I want to hot seat this later. So let's come back to that. Let's get through this first, but that's a good question that we need to address. Okay. And if you don't have the answers, survey your audience. Use SurveyMonkey, Typeform, Google Forms, any of those, and just survey them and see what kind of questions they have, what challenges they're going through. If you guys are interested, I have a template for this, not gated. And I can send you what I send to my customers and what I send to my clients' customers. You can also run polls on social media and then schedule, this is a beautiful thing, schedule connection calls with your past clients and have conversations with them. It feels awkward. Certainly it does. But they're actually pretty happy to do it. I've been doing this lately, and I have, one, found out exactly if my offers resonate with my ideal customer or not. But two, they often say, oh, let me connect you with blah, 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 because they could really use this offer. So having these conversations about what their challenges are and your potential solutions will also potentially bring in new referrals. Okay. Let's go back to the workbook now. And I want you to choose the lead magnet format that you think would work well for you. And identify, what does your audience need? Put down whatever you know right now. You'll want to revise this later once you have a chance to go through your analytics and go through your transcripts. But do what you have right now, and then we'll get back to it. I'm going to resume my timer so you guys can do a little work. Pausing this for just a second, because as you come up with your ideas, put them in the chat. Tell me what your initial ideas are for your lead magnet topic, and we'll get into that in a second. All right, I will resume. It'll also help me tell when you guys are done. All right, we will stop there to make sure that we have time for everything. I see that a lot of you already have some good ideas, though. And keep it going. Make sure to revise and refine as you're going through this. And, don't be afraid to test things out. I always say, let's go to the marketing lab. Let's just start with something simple and get it out there, and then go to the marketing lab and test some things out. You'll find what works well for you. We have a lot of people who are bringing up possible templates, and I think in my experience, templates have done really, really well. And I'm almost always willing to put in an email to access someone's templates if that's something that I really want, and they're quick to do. So those are a great first one to at least get one out there, because they probably already exist on your drive because you're using them. Okay. On to the lead magnet structure. Okay. So the outline your lead magnet is on page 2. So that's the part we'll be working in next. I want to make sure that I'm on my agenda in the right spot. Okay. So lead magnet structure. As I was saying at the beginning of this session, start with the challenge you're addressing. You want to remind the user why they need the resource in the first place. So start with that. And then next, explain the transformation that they can expect from your resource. So let's go to one of the examples in the chat. So Cynthia is an employment lawyer, and she's considering templates. So let's see here. Helping employees craft emails to HR. Okay, so templates for that. So the initial challenge that they're having is they probably just don't know how to approach an uncomfortable conversation with HR, the employee. And so if that's the case, they need a template to be able to know how to do it appropriately and get the results that they want. So a template makes a ton of sense. So the challenge is they don't know how to talk to HR about this, whatever the issue is. And then what's the transformation they can expect? Well, they're sending this email for a reason. So what is the reason? Cynthia, in the comments, tell me, what is the reason that they are sending this email? What transformation is it that they are hoping to get? And then teach the thing and make it really easy to digest. So this is the structure that you want it. Start with the challenge. Even if you're doing a template, I always include in my templates a video where I walk people through it. But the first thing I do is I talk about the challenge that they're experiencing. What is it that they want their life to look like at the end of this challenge when it's resolved? I discuss that. Then I teach the thing. And then I end with whatever the offer is that I'm doing with that. Okay. So they want HR to investigate or fix their concerns. Okay. So the transformation they want is a peaceful work environment, we'll say. So that is something that you would want to include within the lead magnet structure. You get bonus points if you go over to the workbook, you'll see. You get bonus points if you can identify, like, if you can structure it like this: challenge, solution, challenge, solution, challenge, solution. 3, specifically 3. Those do really well for lead magnets. Now, if you're doing this in a template and they're getting something to, Steve, I see you're requesting to share your screen. We'll have time at the end for questions, so I'll do that then. I just want to make sure we get through everything first. If you're doing a template or a quiz where you can't really use this challenge solution structure that easily leads to an offer, because basically the reason for that challenge solution structure is because you are giving them little micro wins throughout that lead magnet. And then in the end, they're going to be like, well, I need more support than just these micro wins. I need a huge win. And that's where your offer comes in. But for templates, address the challenge and the solution and then walk through the template. So do that in the video and in the directions at the very beginning of it. And then you always want to end with an offer, because a lead magnet doesn't really do anything if it doesn't lead to what your specific offer is. So tie it all together. So go over to your workbook, and under outline your lead magnet, I want you to write down the challenge that you're solving with your lead magnet, the transformation that your customer can expect. And then the meat, you don't actually have to put in the details of the meat, teaching the thing, but write down like 1, 2, 3 bullet points of what you expect to teach through your lead magnet. And then bonus points for anybody who can weave in authority throughout this lead magnet. So what does authority look like? It's real life stories, it's case studies, it's testimonials. Anytime you can tell stories, factual stories about your real life clients and the experience, the transformation they have experienced, or if you can use numbers, even if you can't say those client names, you can give numbers of generic X client. That gives you a lot more credibility in your lead magnet. So weave those things into your lead magnet. So we're going to take a couple minutes to outline your lead magnet. I'm going to start the timer. Muted. All right, we're going into headlines and value. Thanks, Bree. I just noticed my red little bar on the mic. Okay. So we're going to go into headlines and value propositions. So let me give you some context when it comes to lead magnets. So something people hire me to do all the time is create all of their sales assets. So it would be a lead magnet, their sales page, their sales emails, and then all the technical setup for it. Something I do at least once a month. And I do the exact structure that I'm doing here, that I'm teaching you, with them. So once I outline the lead magnet, I create the headlines and the value propositions. So this is how you can do it, and this is why you need to do it. I just got a note that you're on mute. My friend came in twice. I was like, am I still on mute? You guys can hear me, right? Okay, I'm going to go with yes. Okay, cool. You can hear me. So why do you want to do this? You want to do this for your sales page, for the page that you're going to have this on, and for your social media, and for your email. Having all of these set up ahead of time will make getting people to actually download it so much easier. So here's how you do it. Outline the lead magnet. We just started that, although I only give you 2 minutes to do it. And then write down your ideal customers' challenges related to the topic of your lead magnet. So we did that earlier. Now jot down the transformation that they can expect from your lead magnet and connect everything to the challenge. So let me show you what this looks like. As an example, let's say the lead magnet is a webinar on how to use events to fill your funnel. I looked at what's the challenge that they are experiencing. They are experiencing probably a dried up sales funnel, and that's the reason that they're looking at solutions for this. What transformation do they want? They want to be booked out. They don't want to have to work so hard for sales. So these are some value propositions, or I like to call them sound bites, on what you can use throughout your sales page, through emails, through social, to get people to actually care about your lead magnet. So I came up with tired of your pipeline drying up? Events will fill your pipeline faster. Get booked out with a single event. Fill your events, fill your pipeline, go from begging for leads to turning them away. So these are just some sound bites that you can use through all of your marketing. And it's a lot easier as you're outlining it to start coming up with these ideas. All right. Now let's talk about the technical setup. So when you are doing a lead magnet, you will always need these first 3 pages. A form page, and that's the gated thing where they need to fill out their email in order to gain access to it. Thank you, Cynthia. A thank you page. So they fill out the form. And then once they fill that out, it takes them to a thank you page. And a thank you page is so underrated because you can send them to your other content. So as they fill that out, and then you can say, oh, well, if you like this lead magnet, you'll love my podcast, and you can send them over to your podcast. Or I also hang out on LinkedIn. Let's have a one-to-one conversation and connect and then link to your LinkedIn. Thank you pages, underrated, and you need to move them over to your other content and doctrine them to your business. And then the third page is your delivery page. So that's where your content lives on. And this could be, honestly, super freaking simple. I use Flowdesk. And Flowdesk, all 3 of those pages are included. And it's also my email platform. So incredibly easy. MailChimp is another one that all of this can be done right in MailChimp. Same with Squarespace. All of the elements here can be done with that one tool. So you also need to automate everything you can. So automatically send an email with delivery. I always deliver my lead magnet through email because people will put in fake emails and then still receive your lead magnet. So you can prevent that issue from happening by you can automate this where when they fill out that form page, it adds them to a segment. And you could do this automatically through Flowdesk, MailChimp, any platform. And then it'll automatically send them an email with the delivery. So make sure on the thank you page on the form page, let them know that that's how it's being delivered. So they don't put in a fake email address. Then you'll want to automatically add them to the right segment and make sure that you put in what is the lead magnet that they downloaded that will as the segment, so you know what they care about, and you can also tailor your offers to that lead magnet. So you have a segmented list now where you could create a special offer just for those people who downloaded that lead magnet and make some money. And then add them to a workflow for the offer. So when I mentioned earlier, I do this for clients all the time. I create a 7-part email sequence that follows it so that each one of those emails helps that segment overcome an objection. So also, here's a little bonus for you, but on your sales pages in the FAQ section, the FAQs are not actually FAQs. It's all objections that your customer needs to overcome. So reasons that they wouldn't buy from you, put those as the frequently asked questions and then respond to it. So you're overcoming their objections before they actually even get on a sales call. All right. So tools you need for this delivery and technical setup. You'll need email marketing. You probably all have that already. You'll need a website, and you don't actually really even need that if you use any of these tools that I mentioned here and the tools that do it all, because these all have landing pages for that. Thank you, Matt. And then Zapier. If all of your tools are disconnected, you'll want a Zap that connects everything. So you're automatically moving people from that form to your email list and to the right segment. So you might need a Zap if all of your tools are disconnected. Does anybody have questions about this? Because technical setup can be hard if you're not like in that world. If you have questions, put it in the chat and I'll address them. And I'll have all of these questions afterwards because it'll be in the recap. So if I don't get a chance to answer them on this call in the next 6 minutes, then I'll respond to them later and I'll just email you guys. Okay. Let me see. I'm just scanning through. Okay. The last thing on this list is your promotion for it. So I was recently going through my old proposals. I don't know why I was doing this. I was just interested to see like what people wanted to buy from me. And one thing that popped up pretty consistently is I have a lead magnet, but no one's downloading it. So this is a promotion list that works every time. I consistently have, every single day, I have new passive leads come in that I didn't work at all for because I had these working in the background. So email marketing, a nice thing to do right from the beginning is in your welcome sequence when people enter your email list to have this as a free gift. Like bonus, here's your free lead magnet, whatever that happens to be. Little gifty in the first email. Your social media, obviously, but go a little bit bigger than you're thinking right now. You're probably thinking, okay, I'll write a post about this. No, what I want you to do is in your cover image for your social media, whatever platform that you are focused on. I use LinkedIn, so I'll use that as an example. Whatever lead magnet I am trying to promote in that moment, I'll have a promotion in my cover image. And then my main link in my profile will go to that lead magnet. So it's always promoting. Anytime someone goes to my LinkedIn page, they see whatever lead magnet I'm promoting at the moment. And changing out your cover image is really effective for that. Newsletter swaps. These work really great too. So this is finding partners that also have an audience that's similar to yours and promoting their lead magnet in your newsletter, and they promote your lead magnet in theirs. Live streams. I usually do a live stream about an hour before I'm going to go live with a lead magnet to get capture any stray bullets that haven't already signed up for it. YouTube video walkthrough. So just walking through your lead magnet on YouTube and then having the download link in the description is really beneficial. Webinar swaps. Similar to the newsletter, you partner with someone. Service companies usually focus on partnering with a product company, and they do a swap. So you're doing a webinar and teaching their audience. Matt, I'll answer your question in a second. Okay. And then podcast guesting. So I have someone who reaches out to other podcasts and gets me on other podcasts all the time. It's inexpensive and it gets me in front of my ideal target audiences at least once a week. But you always promote your lead magnet during those times. Articles. If you were ever given the opportunity to write an article for someone else or a blog for someone else, in your bio, have a link to your lead magnet. Meetup.com. I know a few of you came from there, but meetup.com and Eventbrite Those are great places to promote lead magnets if you're doing some sort of event associated with them. And then spending a little dollars and doing advertising, and then any partnerships that you can do. So there's a group called, it's like a community called The Link, where you can connect with other people who are open to partnerships. So that's something you might want to check out. Michelle said, I didn't realize that Meetup was still a thing. It is a thing, and it is amazing. I've connected with so many great people through it. Okay. So if you are interested in outsourcing your lead magnet, you can schedule a quick 15-minute fit call. You'll get $200 off of your lead magnet creation. You can just grab that QR code here, and we can just execute it for you. So that is an option. I thought it went away with Foursquare. Foursquare, I'm pretty sure, is definitely away. And also, guys, whoever in the recap is shown as the most engaged on this workshop will get a free strategic spark session. So, by the end of the day, I'll know who that is when it does that. And so you'll get a free strategic spark session worth $597. And yeah, I think that will be really helpful for your lead magnet. Okay. Does anybody have any questions? We are right on time, but I will stay for a few minutes for anybody's questions. Feel free to unmute, and I'm going to go through these questions in here. Matt, you asked why I use Squarespace over WordPress or Webflow. The reason is because I know Squarespace. It's easy for me, and I can do all of the work, all of the editing for me. Plus, I love that everything's included in it. I don't have to worry about plugins like with WordPress. I have so many clients on WordPress, and it hurts my soul every time a plugin messes up the website. So that's why I use Squarespace. Thank you, Amberine. Amberine. That's a beautiful name. Would love to hear more about Flowdesk for automating my emails. Okay, so I love Flowdesk, and thank you, Brad. Thanks for coming. You can create a workflow in Flowdesk, and it will send out your emails in sequences. So it makes it a lot easier. And if other people have that question too, I can create a Loom walkthrough on how to do that. So easy. Need to jump. All right. Bye, Matt. Thank you for coming. I'm chilling here. We're wrapping up now. So thank you guys so much for joining me today. Thanks, Michelle. I am so glad that it inspired you. If you guys have any questions about lead magnets, the 9 people who are still on here, you can email me directly too. I love chatting. I'm a chatty person. I work from home, so I'm lonely. I want to chat with you. So I'm going to put my email in the chat in case you guys have questions after we hop off. Oh, it's noelblock.com. Can you provide a link to a call? Yes. Let me share the link with you right now. There's a link to schedule a call. All right, guys. Thank you so much. And I will hop off now, but I'm available. Email me if you have questions. Schedule a call. Thank you. All right, there it was. I hope you enjoyed the audio version of the Craft a Killer Lead Magnet workshop. And if you enjoyed it so much that you'd like full access to the course, you can go down to the show notes page and grab that. What else do I want you to know? Oh, if you aren't already gaining access to all of the events, because I host a lot of masterclasses, a lot of workshops, then I'm also going to drop a link to my meetup group where it's all online, but you can get notifications every time I'm doing an event, which is at least once a month. So head there, and I'll see you next week. beautiful folks. If you enjoyed this episode, please, please, please remember to subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts and rate and review. But most importantly, tell your friends. Share this episode with a friend so other people know about Tiny Marketing and our Uncut Summer series. I will see you next week with another great one.